how to find a good workout plan online, what to look for with that. I mentioned the body contouring stuff and fake fitness, and then the benefits of strength training as opposed to just being active. And we'll dive into the fact that active means like the pool or walking or fucking, that workout plan I sent John. Jumping jacks. And I guess we could also talk about who that would benefit.
Yeah. That doctor did say like swimmers are like one of the most, or swimming is one of the best cardiovascular and I don't know what you would call like muscular development without weight training. But he said typically swimmers have more muscle than like a runner would.
And I think every topic we can dive deeper into and like, okay, a swimmer. When you say swimmer, is it a high level swimmer? Are you talking about somebody who's swim? Or are you talking about these fat people at the gym who just get in there and wade in the water?
I'm talking about whether you're a beginner or a professional, anyone who is swimming, not in there doing Pilates in the swimming pool. You know what I mean?
I'm just saying, like when I'm over there and you can see the pool, obviously, and you see some of those people, and they just in there, they probably burn 50 calories the whole time they're in there.
Yeah, and that's way different than someone who is
doing laps.
Yeah, like Michael Phelps versus someone who is either so overweight that their knees hurt so bad that they can't walk, or they're so heavy or don't feel comfortable weight training or whatever. Like, at least they're doing something, but they need to be structured.
I think my argument is that, first of all, you can always dive so fucking deep into, okay, what if, this case, that case. But in general, we're talking about, if you sit at that gym, just the one we were at today, just for an example, if you sit there all day, 8 hours, and you watch the pool, you won't see but maybe one person that you would deem fit get in there.
Yeah.
Everybody is older and super overweight.
Well, anyone interested in swimming is not going to go to eSport to swim.
Right. That's actually going to swim.
Yeah.
So my thing is, ma'am, sir, if your goal is to if you joined this gym, because you said, hey, I realize that I'm overweight by a lot, I'm not just talking about by a little bit. It's affecting my health. It's affecting my quality of life. I don't sleep well. I'm sick all the time. I'm tired all the time. I got diabetes, blah, 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 whatever it is. And you're trying to get your life on the track of getting healthy. And then you go in there and you walk past the cardio equipment, walk past the weights, walk past all that. Bands, I don't give a shit. I'm not saying it has to be heavy weights. And you get in that pool and you...
Well, it's no different than if they picked up the 5-pound dumbbell and did that same exact... There has to be some level of intensity.
That's the common denominator.
Yeah, the common denominator is...
Right. I don't like the word heavy when it comes to... I like the word challenging.
Yeah.
If it's a challenge.
Well, heavy to you is the same. Like, heavy to you is different than heavy to me, different heavy to Layla.
Right.
It's all relative.
It's relative. But
it should be heavy for that specific person.
And that's why I go away from the word heavy and just say
challenging. Yeah.
If it's challenging, then it's good. But have you really challenged yourself when you got out of that pool and you've been in there for 20 minutes? And if it is a challenge cardiovascular wise, okay, that's just because you're so out of shape. But
dude, if I got in the pool right now and tried to swim 20 minutes straight, I'd probably drown.
But you would try to actually swim, and I would see you in there fucking, as opposed to those people you wouldn't get it. I'm telling you, I watch these people.
Well, I'm just saying, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, there has to be some level of intensity to it. It just can't be in there just like, I mean, you see people in the gym lifting the 2.5 pound dumbbells or 5 pound dumbbells for like 1,000 reps. Like, that's doing the exact same thing as the just like splashing in the swimming pool.
Right.
You know what I mean?
But I think that I think there's growth when you step outside your comfort zone. Yeah. In a lot of things. And when I say growth, like we talked about earlier, I'm not talking about muscle.
Well, the key word is challenging. It doesn't really matter what it has. It doesn't matter if it's swimming, walking on the treadmill, lifting weights, jumping rope, doing crunches. You have to challenge yourself.
Right. But we could talk about step out the gym. Anything you're trying to accomplish in life, you have to step outside the comfort zone.
Now we're just going off.
Well, but you can relate. I feel like the gym or a fitness goal within the gym is really relative to life.
Well, it seems like it is to us because that's what we're into.
but like the doctor said, and that's why I was so happy we talked to him. Like, so we talked to a doctor today that sort of chimed in,
Dr. Judd.
Dr. Judd. But there is a necessity for you to be overall healthy, not just your heart, but just in general.
Which we didn't even ask him the benefits of having more muscle. He said
it wasn't unhealthy.
Yeah.
Wait. All right, ask the question.
He's setting you up. Okay. So we were discussing earlier about being in shape and things like that. And he said something along the lines of a doctor would never tell you that you have to weight train to be healthy.
No, I said the opposite.
I would.
Okay.
In fact, they did some studies in the New England Journal about 10 years ago with 80-year-old people in nursing homes. And they had them lift weights for 15 minutes a day. That was all.
Okay, 15 minutes.
And they gained just 15% muscle mass.
Okay.
We thought that was totally impossible.
Yeah.
Because we were just wrong.
Yeah. Okay, and that was within, what, you say 10 years ago? 15 years?
15 years ago, in the New England Journal.
Before that, though, like, was it a pretty steady practice just to be more active?
When I was in medical school, we didn't think that people over 65 should do anything other than walk.
Okay.
And then we found out that people over 65 could run, and we were shocked by that.
Yeah.
And then we found out that people over 65 should lift weights, and muscle mass was important, because as you age like I do, you lose muscle mass. I'm a runner, so it's hard for me to keep muscle mass anyway. But I run 10 to 20 miles a week, and I lift 3 or 4 times a week.
Okay.
And muscle mass is very important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you're saying, like, within the past 10 to 15 years, that's kind of been developing as more of an important topic.
Oh, yeah.
See, and I think
you need to have some cardio with it.
Yeah.
But you can choose kind of the cardio. But being really strong and buff like you guys, we used to think was bad for you. It's not. Not bad at all.
But see, my argument was, I believe that strength training is super important.
It is.
And a lot of people come here and only do cardio, and they don't really see the results they're looking for.
You shouldn't do both. It's very clear. Cooper is the guy that should do it for running.
Okay.
But he's added weight training to that. He's 90 years old. And he's added weight training to that.
He's on it.
Yeah, I was just going to
We didn't mean to.
Like they used to think back in the day.
Yeah, so like I can remember like going to doctor's appointments with my parents whenever I was younger, and they would just like, my dad was a little bit overweight and like borderline diabetic, and they'd just be like, lose some weight. They didn't really tell you how.
Right.
But he was saying like within the last 10 to 15 years, there has been research to support the fact that developing muscle is a better way to be healthy. And I think that's where, like, there's a lot of generational differences between, like, older doctors. They don't really tell you, hey, weight train. They just say, be more active, like walk 20 minutes 3 times a week or something like that, versus, hey, go to the gym and lift weights 3 times a week. But I think that's transitioning, and I'm glad you talked to that doctor today, because he was like, yeah, like, if he were to recommend to someone today, he would recommend strength training.
And I don't think it's a matter of like, I think it is a generational thing for sure. Because a 60-year-old woman and her mindset of how to get in shape, she come in, she's like, I'm just walking on a treadmill.
And you got to think where she grew up to, like society in general. Then when she was younger, like our mindsets are probably mostly developed by the time where we hit puberty,
right?
And we just slowly, we don't really change much. Well, I'm sure we do, but like the vast majority of how we perceive reality, it probably happens within the first 15 years of our life and how you're raised. And so like, especially then with no internet and things like that, it's like she could probably only see this far, whereas we can see forever away now.
Yeah.
Versus, you know what I mean? Like,
I think for us, we are prime examples of it, that we get stuck in our ways when it comes to the gym.
Absolutely.
So they do too.
Yeah.
And she was raised in an era where it was, first of all, the standard of what was fit or what looked good was different for them.
And she's probably one of those that believes if she does anything over like a 5-pound dumbbell, she's going to grow muscles like you and I have.
Exactly. And so the first, I don't know if you were recording, but how to find a good work. This is a good segue. How to find a good workout plan online for free.
Yeah.
Let's put that out there for free. We're not talking about hiring a coach.
Which actually brings me back to what I mentioned in the gym about sticking to the basics. So earlier, after I got home, I was thinking, which kind of aligns with this. I'm assuming we're talking about someone who is new to the gym, trying to find a plan on their own. And I thought we could pick our like main movements that we would suggest a new beginner becoming proficient in. So like something for chest, something for legs, something for back, something for shoulders, like just basic movements, like none of this like cross the body, hammer strength, whatever. You know what I mean? Like,
so let's look at this plan that and I'm gonna just read some of these names off, and then we can go into that topic. So
are you showing me that one you sent me?
yeah.
Okay.
So then this is on this plan. This is upper body and abs. Day 4. I don't know what day 3 is.
And we're talking in the sense of you haven't been to the gym in 5 years. You've never
so
been.
This particular influencer, and that's another topic we'll get into: influencer versus educator. This influencer is selling these programs to her followers. I don't know what level her clients are on when they first buy this.
Well, let's pick someone.
So the person that I was talking to, who is a nutrition client of mine, and I would deem her.
We'll just say how long she's been.
And how long she's been in the gym, maybe 4 years.
Okay.
What her level is, because she continues to dibble and dab with bullshit like this.
And what's her goal?
And her goal is to lose fat, build muscle, and have a nice shape.
Okay.
And she'll send me pictures of the shape that she wants to have.
And where's she currently at?
And I mean, she has a long way to go.
Yeah, I know, but so she's probably like 35% body fat, 40% body
she's
fat.
She's probably like 35% body fat.
And she wants to maybe be 20 to 25.
20 to about 20.
With okay amount of muscle.
Right. She wants to have a smaller waist, a nice butt.
Yeah.
She wants to look like what all these women want to look like today. Yeah. You know, and
the standard for beauty.
The standard for beauty today.
It changed so much, but the standard for beauty today is big breasts, small waist,
slim thick. It's slim thick.
So like surgical Kim Kardashian.
Right.
That's what she wants?
Not necessarily like that. Like this picture.
Because that's not achievable.
It's not.
Without surgery.
And that's what I'm getting to. Okay. So the workout, day 4, upper body and abs. It is, the first one is called boob lift.
Yeah.
Which
is marketing.
Lying chest press with weight. So the first telltale for me personally, and I get that this is coming from somebody who knows better, is with weight. Well, how the fuck do you do a lying chest press without weight?
Yeah.
Lying chest fly with weight. One leg knee push up. Then for back, the next one is called back fat. Standing lat pulls, back extensions. So first of all, how are you doing back extensions at home? You're assuming that these women have some type of setup where they can do back extensions at home.
A yoga ball.
But does she tell you to buy that?
Well,
does
no.
She give you that instruction? So you still left on your own with a lot of this shit.
Yeah. And most beginners wouldn't even know what a back extension is.
Right. This next one is called sexy arms. 3-step special tricep press. Maybe you know. I don't have a fucking clue what a tricep. Does she mean close grip bench press? Does she mean? And mind you, this is at home. So what's the tricep press at home?
Yeah, and so we're looking at a 1 page with a couple pictures on it, and with these exercises, it doesn't give any demonstrations or examples.
And I'm inclined to believe that the girl who sells these probably has no idea either.
Yeah, I don't even know who it is.
Somebody had to. She's an influencer that has a lot of followers, that has a surgically made body.
You know her name? I kind of
her name is. I'm gonna show it to you. And I don't give a fuck to say it on this because.
Let's look at the let me see the plan that you had just now.
Look who it is.
Well, yeah. Did we hurt his feelings, John? I think you hurt his feelings, John. I doesn't want to be our friend.
What's new?
John House is making us lose friends as a unit. I just want you guys to know that.
Well, you can only have one best friend.
bashing of this person. Thank you very much.
Is that her?
That's her, the one who sells the plan.
Okay, so she doesn't look like she works out. She looks like she's just.
And that is what I tried to get this client of mine. She's a client, but she's also a lifelong friend. I tried to get her to understand that. And I sent her somebody else. Let me show you who I sent her.
Okay. Yeah. So this woman.
I said, if you want to aspire to be somebody, or because what she'll do is she gets online and she just finds women she wants to look like,
Yeah.
and then believes whatever they say. And I said, if you want to do that with somebody, do it with this girl. This is somebody who actually trains, who actually has muscle, who actually has shape, who actually looks good.
Yeah, but she doesn't look anything like the other girl.
Nothing like the other girl.
Yeah.
But I asked her, I said, would you like to look like that? She said, yeah, I would love to look like that.
Yeah.
Most of these people have goals higher than what they set themselves up for. They just know they don't want to work that hard. So they lower their expectations and their standards to meet their work ethic.
So I prefer this look way more than the other chick.
150%. That's why I showed, and we'll have to add her, and that's cool. That's why I showed her that. I'm like, that is a perfect. Okay, no physique is perfect.
No, not at all.
But that is a perfect. She still has body fat, but she's lean enough where she has abs. She has muscles and a nice back.
Yeah.
If you go to her page and see the type of training she's doing, it's all real training.
Yeah. And I say her abs are probably genetic. Like,
right.
Some girls with that same percent body fat may not even have abs.
She just looks like a fucking athlete.
Yeah, she does.
But she squats and she dumbbell presses and she dumbbell bench presses and she does fives.
Yeah.
She's not doing.
It's also all personal preference.
It's personal preference, but
back to the topic, like the actual workout that you showed me, that's basically if no one has ever done anything or hasn't done anything in 5 years or has no idea where to even start, okay, and you want to stay at home to do it,
right?
Will you get any progress? Very little, but the key is intensity.
To get you started.
To get you started. Like, it'll teach you, like, you could Google those and find YouTube videos of demonstrations, but that's not going to teach you the intensity part of it.
And that's the part, so that's the next piece. I told her, I said, how much did you pay for this? She said $100. I said, okay. You could have went online and Googled that for free.
Yeah.
And probably more. You have more information. The sets are 30 seconds on, 15 seconds off. I said, this is cardio.
Yeah.
Basically. I said, and this was like the abs part. And we might have a difference of opinion on this. We haven't talked about it, but if you are a certain amount of body fat, get off the floor, stop doing crunches, and that time that you spend doing crunches, let's say the abs portion of that workout takes you about 15 minutes. I would take that out and just get on the treadmill extra 15 minutes because the whole workout is really just cardio. Because if we have to put into perspective and say that if these women are looking at this plan and see this and say, this looks pretty good, then their knowledge is probably super low.
Yeah.
What's the chances that they're in the gym doing this and going super fucking hard?
Well, but that's the big ticket thing for anyone who doesn't know. You know what I mean? So
that was the question. The question is, the topic is, or the question is,
how do you identify
influencer trainer?
So first of all, I told her and I'm just going to reference this because this was a very recent conversation. Most people who are qualified to coach or to train will allude to in some way in their bio. If you're doing this from Instagram, they will either say certified this or trainer, coach. They're not just gonna. They're gonna say something that gives. Because I asked her when she sent me this, I said, "Well, what gives this woman the credentials to even tell people what to do in the gym and how to eat?" Because she also has meal plans on her little thing too. Her only credentials is she has 700,000 followers.
Yeah. Well, we need to answer the question on how do we identify good.
So that's what I'm getting to. Okay. So what gives her the credential? She doesn't. So what I will look for if I was these people is what does she say? Again, this is if you're getting them from Instagram. If you're finding your coach or your trainer or your program on Instagram, what in her bio or his bio alludes to him being credentialed to do this? Number one. Then I will go look at her page or his page. On her page, I don't know if you peeped it, she has no workout videos, no pictures of her even in the gym. Everything on her page is her being basically an Instagram model. and also before and afters of these clients. The other girl I showed you that you said that's a nice physique. Everything of her is in the gym.
Yeah.
If you really are into that and you really are
you'll be posting
credentialed,
it.
you will be posting it. You will be not only showing your workouts and what you do, but also your clients. And,
Yeah.
And the level of intensity that you go to
and they will to earn that,
Yeah.
not just her.
Does she have any like certifications or anything in her bio saying like
Nothing. That's the point I'm making.
Okay.
She had nothing.
Yeah. So typically a coach will say like whatever their accreditation organization is.
I've never been to a doctor that didn't have his degrees on the wall.
Yeah. So that's a key right there.
That's
Is
one.
Are they a certified personal trainer?
Find their credentials. And here's my thing when it comes to the certification. This is my personal opinion. I have them multiple. I do not believe that you have to keep them, I guess I would say, current throughout your whole career.
Yeah.
But I do think you should attain them at least once
Yeah.
to have gained that knowledge and have done it.
It'll build a foundation. It's
It'll
like
build a foundation.
kinesiology, for an example.
Right.
I know Tyler went to school. I'm pretty sure he graduated with a kinesiology degree.
Right.
Which he always says his education built a great foundation for understanding a lot of nutrition and some mechanics of the body and things like that. But it doesn't necessarily help him today with his coaching.
No.
But the same thing with certifications. It'll build a foundation for you it'll give you a foundation to build on.
Right.
Because I don't have one, but I was that weirdo who's just read everything.
But if I gave you that test because you've read and studied and did it so much, you would probably pass. Or if you didn't pass right away, you would just need a month or so to study.
Yeah.
And then you would pass.
I probably wouldn't pass.
It
Because I have my own opinion on what's right.
Well, you would,
That's the thing, because I think every, we were talking about this, I think every company that you get certified through, they all have their own way of teaching certain things, and they all feel a certain type of way. So if you pass it through NASM, you might not pass it through, what's the other ones?
any of them A's, ISA,
You
whoever.
might not pass it because their thought process is different.
But I will look for credentials. I will look at their physique.
Yeah. So credentials, are they posting stuff of them in the gym?
Of them in the gym, their clients in the gym, anything in the gym.
Yeah.
This woman in particular, I asked this particular lady that we're talking about, a friend of mine, I said, hey, what made you go to this woman's page, see no credentials, not one thing generated on her page,
Yeah.
and think that she was somebody who, and her response was, well, we saw regular everyday people that she was helping get in shape. How do you know that she was helping them get in shape?
Yeah.
How do you know that weight loss came from? How do you know? It's this Instagram. These days, people will pay you to tell. How do you know? And then I said, look at these before and afters. 95% of them were just, they lost a little water weight and a little bloat.
And you got to be careful with those before and afters because
you can edit them.
Well, not only that, but they could be taken in the exact same day with different lighting, different, like hiking up your panties a little bit will make your waist look smaller.
Right.
Or how you adjust your sports. We're talking about women in general, but the same thing with dudes, like, posing trunks, for example, or underwear. Like, did he have longer ones on first and then shorter ones, flexing versus not flexing? Is the lighting different? Did they put on some self tanner between them?
So she has a roommate. And they live in LA, so that's why it's different. But she has a roommate, and they work out together.
Okay.
It's completely different body types. One is short, more stocky. One is like 5'9", taller woman, big chest, and she could more so look like that girl that we just looked at that looks good. The other one would need a whole. If you saw the two women that I'm talking about and said I'm gonna put a program together for both of them, they would look totally different.
Yeah.
The programming and the diet. So the one that doesn't work with me is saying I'm just gonna follow whatever you do to the one that does work with me. And she is telling her it don't work like that. You need to reach out to him, let him do one for you specifically. You just can't eat whatever I eat. And she's like, well. She's in the mindset of, it was her idea to follow this plan. She's one of those, I just want to lose weight and I don't give a shit. I don't want to do the work. I just want to lose a little weight and I'm just going to do cardio.
Yeah.
And because at one point in my life, doing only cardio worked for me. So I'm going to just do that. But then that's when I had to try to go into the details of, well, did it work for you? Because in my personal opinion, I'm always fucking say that, building muscle will make your results last longer. In a sense that look how much you can eat. If you didn't have any muscle and you ate like that, you would be a fucking huge fat.
What are you saying? I eat a lot?
Yes, it's your metabolism and your muscle that you built that allows you to eat like that, and you train your ass off, and all the other things that go into it.
You're just jealous because I can eat a lot.
That too. But this woman that I'm, she'll go through the phase. She'll lose weight, then when she falls off, which is guaranteed to happen. And I'm speaking to this because over the years I've watched it. She's always going to stop going at some point. She's going to gain weight. Then she's going to decide I'm fat. Let me do some carb hit training, and she'll lose a little weight.
Well, that's because they don't think long term.
And that's what I'm trying to get her to think long term. And now I'm slowly getting her to not the other one, the shorter one is my friend. I'm trying to get her to, and she's coming on board to realize that do it this way. It might take you a little bit longer, but the results will be better. It'll be the butt. You want a butt? The butt is the biggest muscle in the body. The butt is a muscle. You can't develop a butt by doing cardio.
Yeah.
You're gonna lose weight, and if anything, you're gonna lose the butt you do have. You have to weight train. You have to build muscle. And like the doctor said today, I don't know how that's not the obvious.
Yeah.
That you build a muscle just healthy. Two of the main things that happen when you gain weight and you get out of shape is your back starts to hurt and your knees start to hurt. That's such a common complaint from overweight people who don't have any muscle. Back. Why? You don't have any core strength. You don't have any support. You just lug around that fat all day with no support. She's like, the girl told her, she said, I built enough muscle. I have enough muscle. I just want to lose weight now. So I'm just going to do all cardio.
Well, you won't keep muscle if you stop trying to wait.
Muscle, if I showed you a picture,
well, it doesn't matter.
But in her head, she thinks she does. But
you're just going on a rant.
I am. And I am.
He has to get it off his chest.
I want to get this off. When I had this conversation with her, I said, this is going on a fucking podcast.
Yeah.
She has no muscle. So, but if you do only cardio, you're going to lose whatever muscle with a bad diet that you might think you do have.
Yeah. I mean, you have to weight train to keep muscle. And you have to weight train to grow muscle.
I think that 30, once you get to about 30, 35 plus, I think if you're not doing something to build muscle, you lose muscle.
Yeah, and it's just going to keep getting harder and harder and harder to build muscle the older you get.
Especially for women. I think more women.
Yeah. I mean, we have testosterone on our side.
But so you talked about the key indicators of what do you think, John? Like, what would be the key indicators, influencer trainer, and how can they look out for things like that? What are the most important things you feel like top three?
They call the back part of the program sexy back. Probably not.
Well, I think that's a marketing thing.
Definitely marketing.
And real coach is not going to
because women, especially when you're marketing to women, anything sexy, cute butt. I mean, it lights up. Your brain starts to light up. You're going.
Fucking put that in there, sexy back. But then say work hard.
Yeah.
Too.
So I think I mentioned maybe the last time we recorded, or maybe the time before last, if I had to pick a coach, like if I had to hire one today, it would probably be Patrick Tor. And that's because based on his results with athletes and in bodybuilding, it's a little bit easier to see results because they're competitors. They're getting on a stage and being judged kind of deal. So their before and afters are legit.
Right.
And so for me, I feel like it's easier to be able to pick. But if I'm like trying to go back in time to like, I kind of started on P90X, which is pretty tough.
It's hard.
Yeah. But the guy who did that, he looked great. And I was like, that's kind of what I want to look like kind of deal. But I don't know if he was certified in anything. So like now that I'm older and kind of realize like what I would look for now versus whenever I was 18. Yeah. So like certified personal trainer or certified in nutrition or has years and years and years of experience, say like um, like because there's so much stuff on YouTube and Instagram and things like that today, like because I'm into bodybuilding, I could just pick a bodybuilder and watch his YouTube channel and just do his workout and train like he does. Like Justin Shire is a great example of someone who is like a prime example of how to execute a movement for bodybuilders, especially for someone who is trying to learn how to control a rep, train to failure, what intensity is. Like Justin Shire is a great example of someone who is maybe too strict in his form, but I would rather be too strict in the beginning, learn properly like a tempo, execution, failure, and then kind of adapt that based on me. Because like for me, if I do a barbell upright row, I'm not doing that perfect strict form. I'm a little loose with it, but I feel it where I want it. Yeah. And I think if you're perfect in those executions in the beginning, you learn. That's what I was telling like dude in the gym yesterday. He was asking me like the best way to develop his front delt. He's like, I feel like my rear delts are pretty good, my laterals, but my front delts are lacking, which I disagreed with. Like he probably just doesn't have any shoulders. Yeah. But I was like, you got to do what feels right for you, and that's the thing. Like if you're just like throwing up a bench or like just throwing up dumbbells and you're just moving weight, you're not feeling it where you need to feel it at. So that's why I told him, I was like, man, you might need to just get on a machine and use a machine to feel it before you. He's like, man, I could bench press so much more like a couple years ago, but my chest sucks and my delts suck. And I'm like, well, you're probably pushing with your triceps versus with your chest.
I think that's more of a conversation of like styles of training for different goals.
Yeah.
Bodybuilding is different than training for strength.
Yeah.
Or there is a place for quick jerky movements, just for explosion.
Yeah.
For football or something like that.
But if I were to hire someone today, that's what I was trying to get at. Like, are they certified? Are they posting themselves? Like you said, and then
if you're getting it from Instagram.
Yeah, or even YouTube or Google. And
on the side.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that like you said earlier, that a plan like that one, just for example, would be beneficial for somebody starting out. The
someone who has nothing, who needs something,
who's like literally standing here at the house wanting to work out from home, and like I don't have any clue what to do. Okay, that would be a good starting point. Yeah. But then the conversation I think we should have is
when do you need to graduate yourself to something real?
And I think that's where we answered, is it time to hire a coach?
Right.
Kind of deal. And not just buying plans online.
Right. And honestly, I think the buying for me is what makes it when you need to be more careful.
Yeah.
If you're giving your money, you need to get something. And because I asked her, I said, well, do you have access to this girl? Can you text her?
Yeah.
Can you call her? Can you email her? Can you ask questions? Because I started coaching her nutrition wise. She's 50 million questions a day. Can you ask this girl that you gave your money to one question?
Yeah.
To clarify what the hell you're looking at.
Yeah.
That alone would be a no for me.
Yeah.
And I might not have to talk, depending on the level of this person. I might have to talk to them specifically. I need to be able to talk to somebody that says, hey, you said 12 to 15 reps. Should that be failure? Should what blah blah blah? Something.
Yeah.
If it says triple drop set, what is that? If I don't know, or am I just winging it? And if I did have access to get that help, would it cost more? You know what I mean?
Well, and that's where for me, it's common sense to just Google it. Like if I don't know something, I just Google it
Right.
instead of like if you and I are having a conversation, especially texting, and you tell me something, and I'm like, I'm not sure what that is. I'm not going to be like, what is that?
Yeah.
I'm just going to Google it, read for 30 seconds or a minute, and then respond to you.
Right.
At least I'll have some type of information of what you're actually talking about.
Right.
And if I'm still confused, then I'll be like, hey, like this is what I think it is. Is that right?
What I'm accepting about humanity, we just don't want to do the work, man.
It is.
I have double drop set and triple drop set in a lot of people's plans, and text.
And
What's a triple drop set? Google is literally just as quick as you texting.
And I think that's why certain coaches put certain types of rep schemes in their plan,
Yeah.
because like a set of 30 on a leg press to me is not the most optimal way to train on a leg press,
Yeah.
but it's going to make it hard regardless. Like 30 reps in a row on a leg press or anything in general is going to burn like a bitch. Yeah, it's going to burn.
Yeah.
And so you're kind of making it stupid proof,
Right.
which
It sucks that you have to,
yes.
because it doesn't limit being able to be super efficient.
Yeah.
But it's what you have to do. Now, certain clients I have, I don't care when they ask questions.
Yeah.
Because I know they do their own homework, but sometimes they just want to make sure.
Yeah.
But like I do have one lady, I won't say her name, but super down in with everything. And I know that if she's asking, she wants to know for her own knowledge, and she really wants to do everything right.
Yeah.
But then you have the very next person to ask. I'm like, you ask for everything. And you probably, once I tell you, probably still
don't. Yeah.
steal. So just fucking do some homework. Like work in some capacity.
Okay.
Like do fucking something. But I would think back to the original is credentials. I will look for. I will look for what do they fucking look like. This girl that they want to look
practice what they preach.
Practice what they preach. This girl, I told her, this girl you're looking at has, I keep on saying her name, has no muscle.
Yeah.
The only thing you like about her is her waist to ass ratio, and the ass is not even real.
Yeah.
So I was sending her pictures to her and said, hey, let me help you understand what muscle looks like. Even on a woman.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean she's going to be jacked like a man.
Yeah.
But even on a petite, in shape woman, here's what muscle looks like. Look at her back.
Yeah.
Look at her shoulders. Look at her arms. Look at her legs. Now look at this girl next to her. Literally, it's completely flat, straight up and down, but just has a nice ass.
So let's kind of answer my question then. Best exercise for beginners, and we can start with whatever body part you want.
What level of beginner? Have done nothing.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Okay. Give me a body part.
We'll just go top to bottom, chest.
Push up. And if you start with the knee, that's fine. You can call it sissy push up. You can call it knees down. Whatever you want to call it. If you need to have your knees down to execute the push up, then a push up. And we're talking at home, right?
No, I'm talking about someone getting into the gym, like
in the gym.
Yeah, not like someone who knows that they want to build muscle. Like my goal is, well, I was thinking whenever I asked that question, I was thinking like beginner men or women who are like they're into fitness, but they not sure where to start. Like if you could only give them one movement for each body part, what would you give them?
And that's a hard question. It's just like they're into fitness, but they're not. Are they into fitness mentally? They just haven't done it?
Well, like they kind of like meal prep, maybe not a bodybuilder's diet, but they, 4 meals a day, whatever it is, and they go to the gym or wanting to go to the gym, but they're wanting to build muscle. Like a beginner wanting to get into fitness.
For chest, I would probably say some maybe Smith incline, or maybe you could do the peg deck.
I was going to say hammer strength incline.
Yeah, or hammer strength incline, or I do think that the basics, like you mentioned earlier, push-ups still work.
Yeah, I would. That's to me, that's a tricky one because you got on to me earlier about not being optimal, and to me, a push-up's not optimal.
Well, no, I wasn't trying to say that you need to be optimal. I think that every time I bring up a topic, you more so try to be like optimistic in general and like nice, and more so like, well, as long as they're doing something. Well, I'm speaking more towards our audience, which most of the feedback we get is from people who are not beginners.
Okay, then let's go that route then.
So, but I'm not.
Or let's say our favorite exercises.
Okay, my favorite for chest would be incline, some variation of incline.
Okay.
Whether it's Smith, whether it's dumbbell, I would probably go dumbbell then Smith.
Okay.
Then I'm a huge pec deck fan.
Okay.
I love the pump and I love the connection I have. With
He can't count. That was 3. One. Pick
So,
one. Pick one.
Dumbbell incline
Okay.
for chest.
Incline Smith for me. Shoulders.
Shoulders, I would say I love barbell press, military press, seated
Reverse pec deck.
for you.
Yep.
Shoulders, okay.
Back.
I love either rack pulls or one.
One.
Rack pull.
A chest supported. I go back and forth between the grips. If I had to pick one grip, neutral grip,
4.
chest supported neutral grip.
T-bar. Or dumbbell.
Doesn't chest supported.
You don't care.
I don't. It doesn't matter. Preferably machine or like, you know what I mean,
Yeah.
or a chest supported T-bar.
Yeah.
But like a hammer strength one is kind of my favorite.
Legs.
It's barbell squat.
Same for me. Are we doing quads, hammies, or just legs?
It'd be the same exercise for me.
You
You want to break them up? Do you want to break them up?
Quads, barbell squats. Hammies, I like either wide stance on the hack, like go high or wide, or I love leg curls, lying or seated.
Okay.
I fucking love leg curls.
If I'm breaking them up, quads, barbell squat, hamstrings, seated, hamstring curls.
Yeah, I love seated. I don't give a shit which one. I really love both. So either one, but yeah, seated. I love seated.
I see so many people execute lying ones wrong, and I do it too.
Yeah.
Because what happens is most of the time you're like this for the camera. As you contract your hamstring, you want to bring your butt up.
Bring your butt up to fully, full range of motion. Yeah, I like, and that's why you just got to drop the weight.
Yeah, and so many people don't do that.
Yeah.
Me included. Like I want to try to go as heavy as I can, but to me it's way easier, and I feel a way better connection being in a seated position.
Yeah, I think for me, the more muscle I put on, the more size I put on throughout the years, the easier it is for me to drop the weight. And I think I was and I still am chasing size.
Yeah.
I was always chasing size, and I always I gotta load this shit up.
Yeah.
I know what I'm doing. And if I walk out here and I feel like I didn't load whatever I was doing up, I'm a little bitch, and I'm never gonna get big.
Yep.
I was just immature in that thought process, but I can drop the weight on the leg curl now and actually feel it and be okay with that. And not feel like I'm not gonna be the biggest guy in the world because I didn't max out, but I did the right forms.
Well, let's say three exercises for, like, if you could tell. So I kind of started in the gym at 18-ish. If you could tell new you 3 exercises that would yield the most results, you feel like?
Or legs.
No, just pick 3. You're like, I guess, like one for upper body, one for back, one for legs.
One for, it was hard to do one.
Well, we can go through each body part. We skipped arms, by the way.
For arms, I love barbell curls, and I love dips.
Preacher seat curls and weighted dips.
Yeah,
for me.
Weighted dips, yeah. It's just hard to fucking, at the gym I go to, I can't get the fucking thing over my legs, and it doesn't, it's not a strap. So you have to just be able to fit it.
Which one's that?
It's that. What gym? What do you mean? What?
What piece?
It's like it's a fucking where you stick it through the plate, and then you like sort of tie it, but it doesn't come loose where you can like open it up and wrap it around you. So you have to be able to step into it. If you look too big, you won't. You can't get it on. So I tried to put it on my neck one time when I did.
Weighted dips, yeah.
Weighted dips. That was a terrible fucking idea. I was hurt for like 3 days. So I was like, yeah, fuck that. At the gym I used to go to, they had chains.
Yeah.
And I loved the chains, and that was perfect.
Is there anything you did when you were younger that you think I've been doing this here lately. It seems like I had a couple body parts that were ahead of everything else whenever I was younger. And now that I've gotten a little bit older and kind of, had a better mind muscle connection, I've kind of gotten away from some exercises that I felt like brought those other body parts up that were ahead of everything else. And I've stopped doing them for some reason, like weighted dips. Like I used to crush those all the time. And I felt like I had good triceps for a long time until other body parts started catching up. And now it's like, they don't seem as good. But I stopped doing weighted dips for years, and I'm like, why did I ever get away from those?
We haven't done dips, and I can't tell you how long.
Yeah,
And that would really help. As you can tell, I'm front delt dominant.
yeah,
And I always did. We always did fucking dips. Even when it wasn't just day. Like, before we leave, let's knock out 4 or 5 rounds of dips. I can't tell you the last time I've done dips. Now my shoulder acts up so much that subconsciously I probably don't do them because I'm like, man, I just look at the things.
And maybe that's why I stopped, because I was having some shoulder issues too.
But I would say for shoulders, I love the military press. If you stand, stand. If you sit, sit. I would love to do them seated. But I barbell military press a lot. I got away from that a little bit too. For chest, I just love the pec deck. I just like the pec deck for chest or dumbbell incline press. For back, I love barbell rows or rack pulls. Probably go rack pulls first, barbell rows second. I feel like they serve a different purpose, in my opinion.
Yeah.
One is for thickness, but in my opinion, you can use the barbells put some thickness on you, especially if it's got the weight on it.
See, for me, I feel like barbell rows would be a more advanced exercise for someone.
It could, yeah.
I wouldn't give that to 18-year-old me
Well, I
again.
was talking about I thought we sort of switched over to somebody who's a little more advanced, more of like our following.
Okay, yeah.
Tend to be a little bit more advanced.
Yeah. Well, that's another one of those, like, I see so many people poorly execute those. Well, it also depends on if you're trying to work upper back or your lat or something like that too.
Underhand.
Yeah.
Reverse row, so it just depends. But for legs, definitely some variations.
Yeah.
I like barbell. I got away from it because I have things going on. But some variation of squat for legs.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of lunges.
Yes, that's something else I did a ton of in college.
Yeah, lunges. I'm not a fan of split squats now. I program them and I will do them because they're super effective. I just hate them. But I think everybody hates split squats. It's a love hate.
Yeah.
You know it's going to give you great reward, but
You basically saying like a stationary lunge?
or you can call it a stationary.
Okay.
The dumbbells, Bulgarians.
Okay.
Yeah, for I think I did arms and chest. Yeah, that's pretty much everything.
What was didn't you have another question kind of related to all this same topic?
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm gonna cut you guys off in a few minutes because we're at the 45-minute mark.
Okay.
So I don't know if you guys want to maybe I don't know if you want to touch on that or maybe talk a little bit about
the last one.
Yesterday's the Arnold.
Well, let's talk about this last one. It was benefits of strength training as opposed to just being active. What are the benefits? Not what would you do, but what benefits do you feel like come from the sort of what we talked to the Dr. Judd about today is benefits of strength training as opposed to just being active. And what do you deem active? I think we were talking about active isn't just walking, the pool, jumping jacks.
All right. Well, there's probably a million things you could list, but let's just
Those are examples
the top 2 that comes to mind for you.
for being active.
No, for why it would be better to incorporate strength training into being active.
I'm talking to this really fits and for everybody. But if we start talking about advanced people, a lot of people who are listening to us mostly, they're more advanced. They probably bodybuilding or wanting to bodybuilding, training and style. But just in general, I would say it's a better way to burn fat.
Mm-hmm.
And it definitely increases your metabolism.
Increases your BMR.
Increases your BMR. But it's also a better way to bone density. So
those are my top 2 I was thinking.
Yeah, preventing injuries, your stability, mean, I can't think about the last time I've been injured.
Yeah.
Now, dealing with little nicks and stuff like that, because we're kneeheads, we don't let heal.
Yeah.
Tissue, but being injured,
Yeah.
like the problems that I deal with, if I didn't weight train, I would probably stay injured. Knees and I know people who step off the fucking stairs and step down. And now they off work for 2 weeks because their fucking knee gave out. If you have some quad muscle, some hammy muscle, or a calf, and some thickness in your bones, you probably wouldn't deal with that.
Yeah.
So that would be my top 2 benefits.
Those are exactly the same two I was thinking. Increases BMR, increases bone density.
Right. That are super underrated when it comes to health.
Yeah.
That's why I thought overall health and fitness. Guys who are super frail or skinny fat may think that's okay. It's like, dude, you fucking, if your girl passes out, you gotta carry her to the outside of the car. Y'all both fucked. Like, if you ain't picking her up and she's dead weight at this point.
We're another rabbit hole here.
Right. This one lifted as a plate of food.
Plate of food.
You're gonna drag this motherfucker to the car. You're gonna do more damage.
If it's my plate of food, that's a workout.
They probably ain't picking your shit up either. But it's just, I don't know, man. When we talked to that doctor, I was so glad he said what he said.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I was really praying in my heart. I'm like, please don't let this doctor say strength training is not necessary.
Yeah.
I was gonna smack his ass.
I kind of wanted him to.
But while he's strength training.
While he's strength training.
Yeah.
And that's why I pointed it out to you, because I was like, this guy is clearly 60 to 70 years old.
Yeah, how old was he?
I think he said he graduated college in 73.
Okay.
So let's just assume he was medical school. So let's assume he was like 26.
Yeah.
28.
26, 28.
My mom would be 52 right now if she was still alive.
Yeah.
If he was 26.
He's 70, 75-ish.
Yeah. You got to be pushing. He's in his 70s.
Yeah.
He's in there doing. Now, granted, his form is terrible. He does pull-ups. He's one of those that does the pull-ups.
Sorry, Dr. Judd.
Well, this guy,
Shout out to Dr. Judd.
I told him, I said, if I could be mid-70s and still being in here like you are, sir, fucking, you're the man. And he was like, I wish I could lift like y'all. I said, listen, dude, I probably won't be able to do this when I'm 70-something.
Yeah.
So you're the fucking man, but he does the pose where he's like.
And he had a slingshot on.
He had a slingshot on.
No, not knocking the slingshot.
No, the slingshot is good, but just not for
Yeah.
But I think for him, it's probably more just to protect his shoulders. And,
I'm sure it is.
Totally fine. That's 70 fucking years old. But
He's in there, though.
He's in there.
Yeah.
And he's a runner, and he's consistent, I know you wanted to, and I felt it.
I was hoping so bad he would be like, which he kind of did. He said up until about 15 years ago, doctors never suggested weight training.
Right.
It's just in the last decade or so that
they weren't trained for that though. Too.
Yeah.
They weren't trained to say this is. They just health related. It's nothing about muscle building.
No. Yeah. But he said that because you were like a coach. And you alluded to like me, and just for an example, like they're not a medical professional, which I'm not.
Yeah.
He was like, well, really he said, honestly, y'all know more about this part than I do.
Yeah.
I'm going to give the health perspective in, but y'all can teach me about this.
Yeah.
And now how do we put them both together?
Yeah.
To get in shape to look good while being healthy.
Yeah.
Bodybuilding I would not deem that a healthy sport.
Yeah. Same.
Powerlifting or any of those things. I don't really know no sports that are healthy. Like basketball, I think 82 games a year is too much, in my personal opinion.
Yeah, so many players seem to be hurt all the time.
All the time,
or a player hurt all the time.
Right. Football is not a safe, healthy sport. Boxing is the most dangerous sport.
Yeah.
So I don't think sports in general were ever meant to be healthy.
It's excessive.
They were meant for entertainment.
Gymnasts, same thing. As skaters, it's just excessive training all day.
To get that good and to stay good consistently, you have to overtrain.
Something else that Dr. Judd said that I asked him was about protein, because there's so many misconceptions on protein's bad on your kidneys and blah, blah, blah. He said 40%. 40% of your daily intake of calories is a good amount, and a 4,000 calorie diet, which is pretty common for bodybuilders, that's 400 grams of protein, if I remember calculating that correctly.
He did it in kilos,
but
he said as long as you're getting hydrated.
yeah, and he said two over-the-counter supplements he would recommend: creatine and whey protein.
And he said make sure you get quality.
Yeah.
Because there can be fakes out there. 100%.
Yeah.
Then I think that how do you deem quality? That's hard.
Yeah.
I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
You gotta read the labels.
But they put whatever they want.
That's true. Some of them
Yeah.
don't put what they're supposed to, but
Me personally, if I'm buying a whey protein, it's a whey protein isolate.
Yeah.
I mean, if it has any other protein in it, I'm not using it because which you're lactose intolerant. So, but for me, anything with any concentrate in it or any casein in it just messes up my stomach.
Yeah.
So whey protein isolate is the only one I will use. I honestly don't even use creatine now, but
I think that like the benefits, like you said. Now we can wrap it up after this. What do you think active? When we talk about strength training versus just being active.
I think someone who's active is okay. So unless you have a very physically demanding job, unless you're doing something outside of that, you're not active. So if you work, like for me, I work a desk job. If I just came home and sat around, I'm not active. If I came home and walked around my neighborhood, I'm not active. If I came home and rode a bike a few miles, say 5 miles a day after work, that's not a whole lot, but I consider that active. If I came home and like maybe went to the walking trail or something that's not just flat, you know what I mean? Like you almost have to make an objective to be active. Like it just can't be part of your daily routine.
It has to be intentional.
Yeah.
I think that so many of these women, and I go back to women especially, they want a certain look, and honestly, in my opinion, all of them are really close to the same. That's why when these Instagram models are the standard, unfortunately.
Yeah.
For what a lot of these women want to look like, and they all look the same.
Yeah. It's kind of like the smaller waist, bigger hips look.
It's this look that you could attain in the gym, but the level of intensity you would have to put in, the level of dedication to a diet, the amount of, like we said, being intentional with every little thing, attention to detail. Most of you, 99% of you are not going to do.
Yeah.
Consistently.
Well,
for a day or a week or maybe even a month.
And most people don't understand what intensity is. They think, you know, a set of 30 on a leg press burns.
Right.
But
that's cardio.
Yeah, you could do a set of 15 with more weight and more intensity and get better hypertrophy out of it.
Coming close to failure. And it's like y'all don't even realize. And this is, I guess this is my opinion. Lifting heavier is easier. Doing 8 reps of heavy weight is way easier than trying to do 25 reps and push through that burn.
Yeah.
It's sort of easier.
The pain of lactic acid buildup is definitely worse than training to failure, which it probably wouldn't be a bad idea for us to pick some of our movements like incline Smith, for an example. When we're fresh, go to failure and what that looks like for us.
Yeah.
I don't know if they would like to see that or not, but
I mean, like a video.
Yeah,
absolutely. I think so.
I think that this is lady that was from where I'm from, and she was always really heavy.
Yeah.
And she lost a lot of weight. I don't know if it looks like she had surgery, but she did it really quick. Now she is just heavy.
Yeah.
And she does like all these classes. She goes to all these classes back home where it's they step up on things, step up, step down, ladies. All right. And then I get down and and it's like not one muscle is contracting. You literally are just training your heart.
Yeah.
And that's why you went from fat to skinny fat.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't think that these people don't know what weight training would do for their physique and what they're really trying to attain. I think that it's outside their comfort zone. They've already deemed it and written it off as too hard. The insecurities they built up from going in there.
Yeah.
All these different excuses. So then they lower their goals to meet their work ethic, as opposed to raising their work ethic to meet their actual real goals.
Yeah.
That would be my last piece. Is don't fucking lower your work ethic, or your goals because you know you're not willing to work that.
Yeah.
Fucking work harder. Those jazzercise and Zumba classes. Listen, man. Fucking add those into your shit.
I've been a big advocate of do what you enjoy the most, and that's for me specifically. I don't do exercises that I don't enjoy anymore, and I don't do rep schemes that I don't enjoy anymore. But the thing is, I feel like if someone is enjoying what they're doing, they're going to push themselves harder on the stuff that they are enjoying. Maybe I would assume so.
So this girl we were talking about earlier, she enjoys the hit style, but always falls off after a month.
People don't. No one enjoys hit. True hit, no one enjoys.
Right.
No one.
So
I don't care who you are. You can lie to yourself and say you enjoy it, but you don't. And if you do enjoy it, I saw a girl on the assault bike in LAC, and she told me like, "Oh yeah, I crush it, like go all out, blah blah blah. It helps me keep losing weight." And I watched her do her interval training, and if I had to guess a percentage on 0 to 100, 100 being maximum, like hold a gun to your head, like you're going all out. She might have been doing, I'll give her a 60 and I'm being generous on her hit. And she was doing maybe a 10 on her non-hit, which true hit, I think you're supposed to do 0. Like it's supposed to be 100 and 0. But her 100, no, not even close.
People don't even know what fucking true hit is. Like P90X.
Yeah,
that's what be hit. That's real hit. That you know, I did a version of P90X during COVID when the gyms were closed, and I was like, man,
it's tough.
I put on a lot of muscle, and then boom.
The yoga is really tough.
Right. But my routine that I did at home was like, I started with, I'm trying to remember, it was like the warm up was like body weight squats for like 30 seconds, down into some push ups, then lunges, and then plank. This was just a warm up.
Yeah. Which P90X is still a great place for someone to start. That would be a great beginner.
But if you put that next to that shit I showed you, P90X real, this bullshit.
Yeah, exactly. That's a prime example of something you could very well known. Google P90X. If it's something along those lines, it's probably okay. Right. But Layla keeps checking the clock. So follow, like, subscribe, whatever else. Click the notification and drop a comment on stuff you want to see in the future.
We was all in the woods, trapped today. John could fish.
John could fish, but
He
can
could.
you?
Yeah, I could.
Gut the fish.
I've never done that.
He could run down a fucking moose.
Yes.
And take it down by the antlers.
Yes. Factual. I have taken down a moose before.